Story appears ordinary till you see the core side of it.
And what you're looking for is the story behind the news.
We bring it to you from Lagos, the commercial capital of Nigeria.
Giving you all types and political stories round the clock.
Every detail from the start line to the final whistle.
CoreTV News, expanding your view.
Hello then and welcome to CoreTV Primetime News. I am Frank Omalape. In our major story, Nigeria's health authorities say the country remains at the risk of Ebola disease for as long as there is free cross-border movement. Also in this program, Cameroon military kills 27 Boko Haram members, denies that over 480 Nigerian soldiers who entered the country on Monday defected. Osun State PDP begins challenge to nullify APC's Raul Faregbeshola's victory at the August 9 governorship election. Outside Nigeria, IMF boss Christine Lagarde vows to step down over a multi-million euro grant case relating to her time as French finance minister. Thank you for joining us tonight. In spite of Nigeria's success in treating Ebola patients, health authorities say the country has not totally eliminated the disease. Health Minister Onyebuchi Chukwu says the country remains at risk for as long as there is free cross-border movement. The minister who spoke with State House correspondent after the Federal Executive Council meeting insists that there is no need to close Nigeria's borders because of the Ebola virus.
Of Ebola viral disease under this current epidemic has gone. But please, let's educate our people, because I heard that even some people now, since this morning, have been holding parties. The party should be suspended. Please, we still have a case in Nigeria, and it may still be possible. It's still possible that we can still have 1, 2, or 3 more cases before we stop having cases, because there are people under surveillance. So if we are sure there's no more problem, there'll be no need to put them under surveillance. It's because there's still that chance that one of them may become sick. We test, it becomes positive, and I will still announce it. So we've done well on containment, but by no means have we eliminated the problem in Nigeria. It's just that Nigeria has a success story to tell the rest of the world. But let's also balance. We shouldn't go into panic, but we shouldn't go into euphoria, just to maintain that balanced, study, disciplined mien and comportment. That is what is required of Nigeria. We are doing well, but it's not over. The problem is not over.
Cameroon army has killed 27 Boko Haram insurgents in a gun battle near a border town with Nigeria. The Cameroonian says the insurgents crossed into their territory earlier this week, but were repelled. A state-run radio station announced that the Boko Haram elements were killed on Monday and Tuesday in Fotokol, but was silenced on casualties on Cameroon's side. It claimed the insurgents had been pushed back into Nigeria and the area is now calm. Meanwhile, the Cameroon military has denied that over 480 Nigerian soldiers who entered the country defected. A spokesman, Didier Barjek, says on the Voice of America that allegations made in a section of the Cameroonian media were unfounded. He added that they were particularly careful over the presence of the Nigerian soldiers, especially as Boko Haram elements could also disguise as a regular army and attack. The deteriorating security situation in the country, which has pitted the Nigerian military with insurgents, especially members of the dreaded Boko Haram, has remained a cause for concern. Guest analysts at the Wednesday's edition of CoreTV News flagship program show described the development as a critical ailment in need of an urgent solution. One of the analysts, who is a retired Army Colonel Adetu Jaja, traced the origin of the rot in the system to the administration of former military President Ibrahim Babangida.
It's a misnomer. It's abnormal. One of my subordinate officers, a general retired, called me. He was so exasperated. He said, "Oga, what are we people doing? Can't we help these people to solve this problem?" Believe me, when we were in service, when we were moved to southern Lebanon, you know, I was a company commander. My soldier look here and there. They throw away the bulletproof jacket. There's a banner, so what they do with it. They throw away the bulletproof jacket. They couldn't wear bullet. They put on their uniform, and they were going on patrols at night. They were chasing. They confronted Israeli Defense Force, confronted PLO, this same Nigerian army that defended the territorial integrity of Kenya during the colonial time, that defeated the Italian army in Ethiopia and hoisted the British flag on the Italian position. If today it would have been Nigerian flag. But you find that the decay in the military started in the last phase of our respected general's rulership, General Babangida, and it totally went worse during the Abacha regime, when the only thing there was tenure survivor of the Kumbe military administration was the security system being developed.
For his part, legal practitioner and human rights campaigner Malaki Ugumade says the situation could snowball into anarchy if treated with a kid glove.
It's in the hands of its cohesive apparatus, i.e. the military, inclusive. And you're already talking of a decay in that institution. You are as well talking about the last bus stop before anarchy. To have that against the backdrop of the general decay in other institutions of government is to court for serious trouble. And I'm not trying to sound alarmist here.
The Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation is soliciting the assistance of the police in protecting its pipelines and checking the threat of crude oil. NNPC Group Managing Director Joseph Daho made the request when he visited the Acting Inspector General of Police Sulaiman Abba. Police spokesman Emmanuel Chukwu says in a statement that Doha also solicited assistance for the protection of his top management staff. Abba, in his response, has shared the NNPC leadership of the police readiness to give maximum protection to oil facilities and other critical national infrastructure. The Federal Executive Council has approved a number of contracts for the power sector worth over 4.2 billion naira as part of efforts to boost electricity generation in the country. The contracts are for the construction of a 132 kilo transmission line and 132 and 33 kilowatt substation in Ifet, Dunu, and Onitsha in Anambra State. Information Minister Labra Mako and his power counterpart Chinedu Nebo briefed journalists on the outcome of the meeting.
The program to stabilize power in Nigeria brought a memo seeking Council's approval to provide transmission infrastructure to increase power supply in parts of Anambra State, particularly between Onitsha and Efite-Dunu, which communities really represent today the country's effort at small-scale industries and commercial activities. These communities lying between Onitsha and Efite-Dunu in parts of Anambra State are known for their industry and known for their commercial activities, and unfortunately, power has always been a problem in terms of increasing their capacity to produce for the country.
The Federal Executive Council approved the award of contracts for the engineering design, manufacture, supply, construction, and commissioning of Onitsha Ifitedunu 132 kV transmission line, and second, 2 by 60 MVA 132 by 33 kV substation at Ifitedunu for the Transmission Company of Nigeria, PLC. And that contract is in favor of Messrs. MBH Power Limited in a total sum of 2.15 billion, including VAT, contingency, way leave issues, etc. The communities that will benefit from this, just to name a few, include Oka, which is the capital territory of Anambra State, Ifitedunu, Onitsha, Nnewi, Obosi, etc. These communities, as I indicated earlier, could be regarded as the industrial, manufacturing, and small and medium enterprises belt of the entire geopolitical zone.
You're watching CoreTV Primetime News. Still to come after the break, Osun PDP begins battle to overturn Rauf Aregbesol's victory at the August 9 governorship election. Find out the details of this and other stories after this timeout. Don't go away.
Nivea Nourishing Body Lotion. Its effective formula with Hydro IQ gives your skin deep and long-lasting nourishment for skin that stays moisturized all day long. Look great, feel great, with deeply nourished skin. Nourishing Body Lotion from Nivea.
I'm so happy every day because I'm healthy and strong. Playing, jumping, here I go. Scott's Emotion helps me grow.
A daily dose of Scott's Emotion, which combines omega-3, calcium, vitamins A and D, supports the healthy development of your child's brain and body. Scott's Emotion promotes active minds and strong immunity in growing children. New Scott's Orange Flavor Multivitamin Emotion.
You can now watch CoreTV News live from anywhere in the world on our website www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to CoreTV Primetime News.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CoreTV, leave a space, then News. CoreTV News, a 24-hour news station.
Glad to have you back. All activities to mark the 23rd anniversary of the creation of Osun State were suspended as attention shifted to the Election Petition Tribunal, which is entertaining the People's Democratic Party's challenge of the result of the August 9 governorship election in the state. A battle started with main gladiators in the election, the PDP and the APC filing an application for leave to access and inspect all materials used by the Independent National Electoral Commission for the conduct of the poll. Rashid was at the Election Tribunal sitting in Osogbo and filing this report.
The August 9th election in Osun State was mainly a battle between the candidates of the People's Democratic Party, Iyola Omishore, and that of the All Progressives Congress and incumbent Governor Rauf Aregbesola. As the result was announced, Iyola Omishore vows to challenge the result at the Election Tribunal. The lead counsel for Iyola Omishore, Afolabi Fashanu, and Wale Afolabi, standing for Rauf Aregbesola, sought the leave of the courts to inspect the ballot materials used for the August 9th election.
We came to seek leave of court for the purpose of examining electoral materials that were used during the last election.
That they could not, by any stretch of imagination, have that kind of number of votes that they have. So we want to inspect all those materials, the ballot papers used, all the electoral materials used. We'll be able to defend in our petition.
The court premises was filled to the brim with supporters of the PDP. The reason for this? Not far-fetched. Iyiola Omishore was in court and speaks with journalists on the alleged election manipulation of the APC.
The PDP is here to challenge the result of the rigged election. And you can see that that's the only thing that's saving the peace in this state. So we will now expose the massive rigging, malpractices, ballot stuffing, and ballot manipulation and carriage of ballot boxes to the public to see that APC has no place in this state.
As the battle leaves the streets for the courtroom, both councils speak of their expectations when petition is finally submitted and sitting starts.
After that, will assist you to know where things went wrong, particularly from the side of either INEC or APC. So to foster at least our chance.
When they fight the election petition properly before the court, we are going to meet them paragraph by paragraph, word for word. We are ready for them.
Omishore, however, admonishes his supporters and party faithfuls to be calm as they are coasting to victory.
We believe that the will of people must tie off over the rigging of the people of PPC. And sincerely, this court will determine the actual winner of the 9th of August elections peacefully and in a more civilized environment, unlike the thuggery and violence being perpetrated or created by APC.
The tribunal awaits the petition of both parties as they might have concluded the inspection of the election material. Rashid, CoreTV News, Oshogbo.
The Osun state government is fully in support of the class action filed by about 700 members of the All Progressive Congress against security agencies over alleged arrest and detention during the election. Senior Special Assistant to the Governor on Research, Planning and Policy Implementation, Olusegun Bada, stated this in an interview with CoreTV News in Abuja. He argued that only people on ground can fully understand the manner APC members were treated by security operatives before and during the election.
If we don't go to court, some other citizens, civil society organizations will go to court. People were traumatized. Senator Adeleke did not run away, escape from his house. He has to sleep in his grandmother's house. It was essentially disenfranchised because of the militarization. That's one. Mr. Fakrede from Ora, an elder statesman who is about 80 years old, he's a lawyer. He was driven and incarcerated, manhandled. There were so many of our friends who were beaten, like even Lai Mohammed. You see, intimidation itself is a psychological thing. And if you distort somebody's psycho, in psychoanalytical theory, it's more damaging than physical damage. So 40 billion, I even believe, is even too small. It was a terrible scenario. You need to be on ground. It's rather sin than just being, than you hearing about it. We were on ground. They were bragging. They were not ready to do elections. But the people, it was the will of the people, the resolve of the people that, look, this election must hold and our votes must count.
Reactions have continued to trail the impeachment of the Deputy Governor of Enugu State, Sunday Onyebuchi. Many have described it as ridiculous and a sad reflection of executive recklessness. Olajumeko Lantuji has more in this report.
Barely a month after allegations of gross misconduct were leveled against the Enugu State Deputy Governor, Sunday Onyebuchi, the state finally impeached him. The development was the climax of the 36-day battle, which began on July 22nd when 22 of the 24 State House of Assembly members, in a resolution, accused Onyebuchi of illegality and flagrant disobedience to the directives of the state's chief executive. The embattled deputy governor told the impeachment panel set up by the state's chief judge that the state's governor, Sullivan Chime, equally operates a piggery in the government's house. Onyebuchi revealed that the state's government had budgeted for the maintenance of the poultry since 2011. The embattled deputy governor would tender the state's budget between 2011 and 2014 to support his claims, says funds had already been provided for the poultry the governor operated. The impeachment proceedings by the Enugu State House of Assembly moved on, and ultimately the deputy governor was sacked on August 26. Reacting to this development, the deputy chairman of the Lagos State chapter of the All Progressives Congress, Funsho Logunde, says the continuous impeachment in the Nigerian politics is becoming ridiculous and a sad reflection of executive recklessness.
From what we hear, the governor is sponsoring his own chief of staff, who hails from the same senatorial district with the deputy governor. And so here we are. That impeachment was done for personal motives, not in the interest of the state. And that is the ridiculous extent to which impeachment has been subjected.
A constitutional lawyer, Fred Agbaje, believes that the just concluded impeachment of the deputy governor of Enugu State is a display of the deep weakness of the Nigerian judiciary.
The rate and manner which impeachment has been carried out in Nigeria, regrettably, is to weaken democracy and ultimately turn whatever gains that have emanated from good governance on its head. So it is like what has happened in Enugu State now. Because they say somebody is rearing a poultry. To quote for goodness sake, how does the rearing of a poultry affect the office of a deputy governor? We are talking of things that will affect your performance as either governor or deputy governor. How has the running of poultry affected the performance of the deputy governor? So these are the questions, because we have descended to a level of embarrassing banality. Banality in the sense that whatever comes to the mind of the members of the House of Assembly can become is classified as gross misconduct, which it is wrong.
The deputy governor, Sunday Obuchi, has vowed to take his case before higher courts, a clear indication that the last has not been heard of this impeachment saga that has put the state on the political spotlight. Olajumoke Olatunji, CoreTV News, Lagos.
President Goodluck Jonathan on Wednesday met with key leaders of the People's Democratic Party and the leadership of the party's National Assembly caucus. Some members of the federal cabinet also participated in a session that was held immediately after the Federal Executive Council meeting at the presidential villa. PDP spokesman Olisa Metu described it as an emergency meeting aimed at working out plans to promote government's transformation agenda.
Between the Federal Executive Council members, the National Working Committee members, and the leadership of the National Assembly, PDP caucus. The meeting discussed a lot of issues. The most important thing being the interface between the executive, legislature, and the party, with a view to promoting and publicizing the ideals, the achievements of the transformation agenda of the government, and to ensure that we continue to gain the confidence of Nigerians. Being the only party that promotes the unity and progress of Nigeria and that covers all national interest, we want to ensure that our people will continue to have faith in the party. The meeting set up a small committee to continue to dialogue and promote these ideals.
Away from that now, the Nigerian Society of Engineers is concerned that over 60% of its members are unemployed. Chairman of the Abuja chapter of the society says available vacancies for engineers are far below the number of engineers in the labor market. Guest speaker at the 2014 Engineering Week in Abuja, Umar Bindi, wants young engineers to be creative in order to cut down the number of unemployed engineers in the country.
To me, as a specialist in science, technology, and engineering,
local content is about knowledge. You have knowledge, you can be able to penetrate anything. And therefore, the local content drive must also recognize that the education system in Nigeria needs to be energized to enhance the local content effectiveness. So we must, in the next 10, 15, 20 years, start producing world-class scientists. We must be able to start coming up with intellectual property that is globally licensable. We must start looking at the potential and the opportunities to evolve Nigerian-made products, engineering products that Japanese can buy, that the Europeans can buy. This is the ultimate value. And therefore, I believe in this, and I know that it's achievable.
If you are a graduate, you are just a raw material. You can choose a career, not necessarily going through government, a white-collar job, so to say. But as engineers, on our various fields, we can create job for ourselves and for others. And this has been my mission since I became the chairman of NSC Abuja branch. And look through our records. Every time we come to our meeting, 50, 60 new members, mostly young engineers come. We discover that 90% of them are unemployed.
Determined to nip the bud premature death from mishandled chemicals, the Lagos State Environmental Protection Agency has commenced a 2-day workshop for large-scale chemical dealers. This is in order to educate on effective handling of chemicals in the state. Anita Fatji has more in this report.
Towards effective monitoring and compliance of chemical management in Lagos State is the theme of this year's 2-day workshop organized by the Lagos State Environmental Protection Agency, LASEPA. The General Manager of LASEPA, Rashid Shabi, says the agency will not fold its arms and watch misapplication of chemicals. Rather, will continue to sensitize chemical dealers on how to properly handle and manage the usage of chemicals in order for Nigerians to be safe from health hazards.
When you talk of environmental monitoring, it's a continuous process. You understand what I'm saying now? It's not that you just organize a workshop for a certain period of time and you stop. You have to be educating them every time, because you see, our people, the moment you stop, they go back to their old doings. And we are not going to fold our arms and say, okay, we had a workshop some time ago, we should stop. We must continue to sensitize them, to let them know the importance, why they need to take some precautions.
There is a law in the state that they have to obtain permits if they are dealing in chemicals. Then when we get to their premises, we want to see how the store is arranged. We have only about 30% compliance because people don't know the effect. I think they are not aware of the effect of their activities on the environment, and hence this workshop.
According to the chairman, Large-Scale Chemicals Dealers Association, Sam Obaleye, chemicals are important for human usage. That is why it is necessary to enlighten Lagosians as to its proper usage.
You see, chemicals is important to life. I can say chemical is life. We all live with chemical every day of our lives. When you sleep, you wake up from bed, the foam is made with PU, which is chemical. When you go to your bedroom, you wash your mouth with toothpaste, which is what? Chemical. You go to your bedroom, you bath with what? Soap, which is what? Chemical. You cream your body with what? Cream or lotion, which is what? Chemical. You go to your sitting room, you sit on what? On foam, on mattress, on seats, which is made of chemical as well. You go to your car, you sit on what? On foam, which is what? Chemical. You go to your office, you sit on what? On foam, which is what? Chemical. Needless to say, what we eat is made of chemicals. Water is purified with chemicals. So everyday life, every human being, we live with chemical. So there are many kinds of chemical. And we need to categorize them. Some are harmful, and they need to be handled properly. And that's the purpose for this kind of workshop.
For participants at the seminar, proper handling of high toxic chemicals is of paramount importance to a healthy society. Anita Fatunji, CoreTV News, Lagos.
It's your CoreTV Primetime News. We take another break now. We'll return shortly with business stories. Stay with us.
You can now watch CoreTV News live from anywhere in the world on our website, www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to CoreTV Primetime Days.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CoreTV, leave a space, then News. CoreTV News, a 24-hour news station.
Nigerians continue to travel the city of Lagos once again.
Be the first to know from the north, south, east, west and around Africa. We break the news.
One Nigeria.
Now you can catch all the actions live as the news breaks. We are CoreTV News.
Welcome to CoreTV.
A 24-hour news station.
One continent, 54 countries, over 2,000 languages, but united with similar interests. As news breaks, we give you in-depth analysis around Africa every Monday on CoreTV News.
Welcome to the world of business with me, Sabena Izoku. Royal Dutch Shell has sold some of 4 oil fields up for grabs in Nigeria as the oil and gas company pushes ahead with global asset sales to cut cost. Shell last year put out for sale its 30% share in 4 oil blocks in the Niger Delta, which includes the oil mining license 1824-25-29 as well as Nembe Creek's trunk line. According to reports, companies signed sales and purchase agreement for some of the oil mining leases. No details were available on the value of the deals signed, nor when the full process will be completed. In the related development, France Total and Italy and I are also set to raise revenue from the sale of their 10% and 5% shares in the assets. The Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, owns the remaining 55%. Meanwhile, Total, ENI, Chevron, and ConocoPhillips have sought to pull out of the oil-rich West African country, which has been plagued by oil theft. Nigeria and other African countries' telecommunication companies drive to explore renewable power solutions to drive their off-grid telecommunication mast, which could potentially create 64 billion naira market to be tapped by third-party energy service companies, which requisite technical competence. Analysts say they could serve as a stopgap, pending when the dividends of the ongoing reforms in Nigeria's electricity sector materializes, as energy is believed to be the largest cost item in developing markets, representing as much 40 to 50% of total operating cost. In 2012 alone, telecoms companies spent about 45.9 billion naira to fuel generators that power base transceiver stations, a critical network component required to deliver communication services. According to the Global System for Mobile Communication Association, a global body representing the interests of operators, the market potential currently stands at $265 million annually at the power purchase agreement rate of 0.6 US dollars kilowatts per hour. But with the total number of telecoms power sites in Nigeria and Ghana is expected to reach 43,917 by 2015. Flour Mill Nigeria, one of the largest industrial companies in Nigeria focusing on food, agro-allied and infrastructure, says the company revenue increased by 8.9% year-on-year as a result of strong performance in the company core food business. The company basic earnings per share, excluding golden sugar, grew 29.2% year-on-year, while earnings increased by 17.3% in the 2014 financial year. The company says the growth has been attributed to 2013-14 transition, but steady progress expected from its other subsidiaries. The The company, however, says it's banking on Golden Penny, a highly respected brand, biscuit manufacturers, and makers of confectionaries to further penetrate the market. The Naira firmed on Wednesday, lifted by dollar sale from local units of foreign oil companies seeking to fund their month-end obligations. The local currency unit closed at 162 Naira 5 kobo to a dollar, stronger than Tuesday close of 162.20 kobo. Local units of ExxonMobil sold $50 million and Italy's ENI sold $5 million total today, to boost dollar liquidity, in addition to Total and Chevron, which both sold a combined $117 million on Tuesday. Nigeria's 2014 bond will be added to JP's Morgan Government Bond Index Emerging Market on the 29th of August. And on the stock market report, equity transaction on the Nigerian Stock Exchange ended on a negative note today. The Nigerian Stock Exchange All Shares Index depreciated by 0.38% to close at 41,121.12 basis points. Market capitalization also decreased in the same manner and closes at 13.58 trillion naira. In all, a total of 387.6 million shares, valued at 3.94 billion naira, were exchanged in 4,795 deals. Report shows that 7-Up PLC topped the gainers chart, followed by Better Glass, Guarantee Trust Bank PLC, Owando PLC, and Nascon PLC. On the other hand, 40 Oil led the losers chart, followed by Dangote Cement, Connor Oil PLC, MRS Oil, and Total PLC. Meanwhile, here are the top 5 trades. And that's it on business news. Coming up next is sport news with Brownson Uwana. Please stay with us.
Welcome you to From the Ivory Tower and happenings around the country. Varsity teachers get to air their views. Students are actually not left out. We bring you intellectual ends from the events happening around you. It is dedicated to educating the populace with a spice of entertainment.
From the Ivory Tower, Tuesdays, only on CoreTV News.
Our style, that's what he delivered. Usain Bolt storming, no, he takes Puyol with a flying lead.
Go, taking them out in the lead and
A very big thanks for joining us on Sport News tonight. I am Brownson Uwana. The head of Nigerian Embattled Football Association was released from custody on Wednesday after being arrested before a General Assembly meeting to elect new executive committee members. Nigerian Football Federation NFF President Aminu Megari was picked up by police with another senior official, Barrister Chris Green, on Tuesday. Megari's arrest was the latest twist in a long-running saga over the governance of Nigerian football. The Nigerian champion was suspended from all international football in July by FIFA, charging of government interference in its affairs following a court order that sacked the NFF committee members. Football Kenya Federation has confirmed that Uganda and Rwanda have agreed to jointly pursue interest in bidding to host the 2017 African Cup of Nations. This comes after the bid were reopened following the withdrawal of Libya as a host nation following unstable security situation in the country. Kenya FA President Sam Nyameya says he is happy Uganda and Rwanda have received positive proposal by Football Kenya Federation to join pursue interest in bidding to host the 2017 Orange CAF Cup of Nations after bids were reopened following the withdrawal of the host nation. And now to international sports. European football chief Michel Platini on Thursday will announce if he is to stand against Blatter in next year's FIFA presidential election. The 59-year-old Platini will make clear his intention in Monaco at the draw of the Champions League group stage, ending months of speculation. The French football legend raised hopes among his supporters that he was planning to put his name in the ring for one of the most powerful jobs in world sports after publicly declaring in June that he no longer supports Blatter. The 76-year-old FIFA boss has come under intense pressure over issues such as widespread FIFA corruption and the controversy-plagued 2022 Qatar World Cup bid. Finally, on Sport News tonight, in the world of tennis, Agnieszka Radwanska has become the first high-profile tennis player to exit the US Open. It was a surprise 6-3, 6-4 second round defeat for the pole 25 against an unseeded Peng, the world number 39. The loss continues Radwanska's record of never progressing beyond the fourth round in the US Open. The 28-year-old Peng will play either Italy's Roberta Vinci or Romania's Irina Casilia in the third round. And that's my final whistle on Sport News tonight. I am Bronson Wana. Very big thanks for watching. Frank Omalape standing by to bring you the foreign news. Stay with us.
You can now watch CoreTV News live from anywhere in the world on our website www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to CoreTV Primetime Days.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CoreTV, leave a space, then News. CoreTV News, our 24-hour news station.
And that has been sports news and business news from Brownson and Sabina. You're still watching CoreTV Primetime News. Now outside Nigeria, IMF Chief Christine Lagarde has announced she has been charged with negligence over a multi-million-euro graft case relating to her time as French finance minister. The shock announcement came a day after she was grilled by a special court in Paris that probes cases of ministerial misconduct. This is the fourth time she has faced such questioning in a case that was weighed upon her powerful position as managing director of the International Monetary Fund. She responded no when asked by journalists whether she intended to resign from the IMF. The case relates to her handling of a 400 million euro state payout to disgraced French tycoon Bernard Tapie in 2008.
Investigating Commission of the Court of Justice of the French Republic has decided to place me under formal investigation. After 3 years of procedure, the only surviving allegation is that through inattention, I may have failed to block the arbitration that put an end to the long-standing Tapie litigation. I have instructed my lawyer to appeal this decision, which I consider totally without merit. I return back to Washington, where I will indeed brief my board.
Finally tonight, the German government has passed measures requiring police and courts to take tougher action against suspected hate crimes following a new Nazi killing spree that went unresolved for more than a decade. A draft law was approved based on the recommendations of a parliamentary committee tasked with investigating the Bungo murder probe. Government spokesman Stephen Sabiat says the discovery of a terrorist cell in November 2011 believed to be responsible for gunning down 10 people, mainly Turkish immigrants over 7 years, has created shock and dismay in Germany. The law, which must still pass Parliament, would require criminal justice authorities to do more to take possible racist, xenophobic or otherwise dehumanizing motives into account in criminal investigations and sentencing. The draft law also untangles the lines of authority among state institutions to prevent cases slipping between the cracks. Well, that's been the show tonight on Primetime News. On behalf of the entire crew, I am Frank Omalape, wishing you a happy night rest. Bye for now.